Hello again, guys. How's it going? So I've decided that I'm going to share with you all a couple of my visions and dreams about gold and silver. Now, these dreams I've already shared with you guys on my old channel about 7 years ago. But before I share those particular dreams, I'm going to share with you guys a very interesting dream that my friend had. And my friend, he doesn't often dream. He doesn't often get prophetic dreams or dreams at all, period. But he shared this very interesting dream with me, and I happened to understand exactly and immediately what it had meant. So after I finish sharing his dream, I'll play the clip of my prophetic visions and dreams about gold and silver. And at the end, I'll give you guys some advice of what not to do whenever it comes to stacking your gold and your silver. Now, guys, my friend told me that he had this dream, right? Where it was like set in the future where the economy had crashed and there was a lot of bartering going on. Now, it was at this place where there was a large group of people in a queue, in a line, and they would go up to the front of this line and give whatever they had, or everyone would give whatever they had to the people at the front, and they would wait and see what they would get in return. So he was in this line, and when it had come for his time to go up, he had this large sum of cash, and he went and gave it to the people at the front. And what he had received in return was some old DVD players and some old speakers and these worthless things that had absolutely no value to him at all or to anyone. So he was quite surprised. But here's the interesting part. In this large group of people in the line, towards the back end of the line, there's this man that dressed like an Arab. I don't know if it was an actual Arab guy or he was just wearing Arab attire, but he was wearing like a turban, not necessarily like mine, but he was wearing a turban, one of those, turbans that the Arab people, those folks in the Middle East usually wear, that was wrapped all the way up. Now, while this guy was in the line, someone sneaked up behind him, right? And smacked him on top of the head with this huge rock. And when the person that did that to him, the turban fell off, and it was revealed that in the top of his turban, guys, he had a piece of gold in it. And instead of the stone hitting his head, the gold actually took the full brunt, the full impact of the strike that he received. And that part right there is crystal clear. It needs no interpretation. Because the gold actually saved his life, guys. Had it not been for that piece of gold on top of his head, his cranium, his skull probably would have cracked. He could have probably even ended up dead. So the gold literally saved his life. The gold received the impact instead of his head. Now, when everyone had seen that he had that piece of gold, guys, the reaction was interesting. What he mentioned. Everyone was in awe, and they literally parted the line. The ones that were at the front of the line, they just moved away and made space for him. And the people up at the front called him up. And some people that were also in the line actually went with him and became a part of his entourage. It's almost as if he instantaneously became this high-ranking, this king kind of, character. It was like a king, guys. So he went up and he had the option to get whatever he wanted, whatever he desired. He told me that in the dream, people were just in awe of him. And his status was instantaneously elevated. And so I understood exactly what it means. That in the future, whenever the crash occurs, those who hold gold and silver, their status also are going to be elevated. Because they're going to be worth significantly greater than what they're currently worth. So there you have it, guys. That was the dream that my friend had received, and he shared it with me. But now, guys, let's check out the dreams that y'all had given to me about gold and silver about 7 years ago.
Now, this first dream, it was like I was watching TV, and there was this guy hosting the broadcast, and behind him, hanging from the ceilings, on the walls, on the floors, on couches, everywhere was silver. I mean, literally. They were in all shapes, sizes. They were in different types. I even saw one of the giant maple leaves. They have the gold version. I don't know if the silver version exists, but I saw a giant maple leaf silver coin that was half the size of the host on the broadcasting network. So this first stream, I was watching a TV broadcasting show, and on the show, this guy was talking about silver. It was all about silver. There wasn't even 1 gram of gold there. It was all about silver. So this dream is to the point, it is clear. The meaning is clear. So that was the first dream that I had about silver. The second one was people were like gathering silver normally, as they're doing right now, and like the government turned on this machine which sucked all the silver away. It was like a giant magnet. So I'm guessing that whenever this crash occurs, there are going to be some kind of moves taken by the government to confiscate or require some of the silver that people have been gathering. I don't know. I really don't know. But that's the second dream. Now this last dream is direct and to the point. I saw that the price of silver went to $360 an ounce. Also, in the one dream that I had about gold, I was looking at what appeared to be some kind of newspaper clipping, or, you know, those online trading platforms. I'm really not sure what it was, because it was zoomed in really big and it was slowly moving across the screen from right to left. And the only thing that I could see was as if, you know, someone wanted me to see only this on the entire article or newspaper or whatever it was. So it was moving from right to left slowly, so very, very slowly. And the first thing that I saw was the dollar sign. I saw a dollar sign, then I saw the number 5, then 0, then another 0, and another 0. And then right beside that, I saw the word gold. So this other dream was direct and to the point. It was clearly stating that gold will reach sometime $5,000 an ounce. I believe gold will reach $5,000 an ounce. That's just my opinion. You can give your own interpretation. It will definitely go to $5,000 an ounce. Now, whether this will happen overnight or over the course of a few weeks or months, I have absolutely no idea. But what I know for sure is what I saw in this clipping. Gold at $5,000. In this final dream, God had blessed me with a very large lump sum of cash. It was sudden and unexpected. And this dream is not only for myself, but it goes for all the other faithful servants that have been waiting on the Lord. He's about to bless his faithful children with money, suddenly. And it's not just going to rain down from heaven. It's not going to fall out of the sky, no. I'm talking about the ones that have been obedient to listen to him and to take the steps and to sow the seeds which will bring this type of harvest. Now, at the time when he had shown me that I was going to get this cash, I didn't know anything about silver. And this was the first dream that he gave me. He just showed me that I was going to get a very large sum of cash.
Okay guys, so you heard it for yourselves. I saw that silver went to $260 and gold will go to $5,000. And it will most definitely happen, guys. Because like I said, Yah showed this to me. I had absolutely no idea of how high these precious metals will go. And at the time, they weren't even on my mind. They were just revelations that was just given to me, divine revelation that was given to me by the Lord. So now let me share with you guys an experience that I had, a very, very unpleasant experience, so as to make you guys try to avoid any such experience in the future. So I remember this one time I went and painted this very big house, a huge house, guys. And so I received a large amount of cash for my payment, right? And I decided, you know what? I'm going to put all this money into silver. I'm going to start stacking my silver. And so I went through this very long process. I remember I sent some cash overseas to Canada to start purchasing my silver. I purchased some from Canadian Bullion Services, I think they were called. And that was a very bad experience, guys. It took like almost a year for them to deliver the silver that I'd ordered. They took way too long, in my opinion. So that was a bad experience. I would never try to buy silver from them again. But I'd received it and they were not fake. So that's the good thing, because, some of these dealers, you don't want to deal with them at all. So I purchased some from Canadian Bullion Services. I got through. It took just, a little bit too long. I'd also purchased a portion as well from other places online, which I don't remember. Was it from Craigslist? I don't recall. It was from somewhere else. So I bought it from several different places. So I had a good little amount of silver there stacking up. And so my nephew had came and visited me and he brought the silver. And I decided, I was there thinking, where am I going to hold? Where am I going to keep? What's the safest place to hold this silver? And I thought that, you know what? I'm going to send it back to Canada and let my nephew hold it, keep it for me. That's what I was thinking. Guys, that was an error. That was a terrible error. And that's what I'm telling you guys right now, so that you won't make that same mistake as I did. My nephew later went on to purchase a new house, a very big and beautiful house, actually. And when he had moved, somehow in that process of moving, my silver had gotten lost in that moving process, guys, somewhere there. And my goodness, guys, that is a terrible experience, because you can't find it nowhere there in the house. My silver that I had taken so many years and had worked so hard, to paint that house, all of it just went away, guys. It just disappeared, because you can't find the silver even up to this day, until I've decided that, you know what, I'm just going to take this loss. Forget it. That's just a loss. So what's the lesson here? The lesson is, whenever you start to stack your gold and silver, don't give it to anyone. It's almost like the same thing that goes for cryptocurrency. Don't let anyone store it for you. You are your own bank. Not your keys, not your crypto. That's the saying they have for cryptocurrencies when it comes to the ledgers. If you don't own the keys, if you don't have them, the crypto is not yours. Well, the same thing applies, I believe, for precious metals, based off of my experience. Make sure that you are storing your precious metals, that they're wherever you are. Okay? Because if they're not, there's a very high chance that you may lose them. And you don't want that at all. You see, because you've spent your money, your hard-earned money, to purchase these hard assets, and you want to make sure that they're secure, as safe as possible. Now, I don't know if currently they have a financial institution that does specifically that, which is to hold and keep things like precious metals, or quite possibly your ledger. I don't know if there's currently any that is reputable, that can be trusted, or maybe one will come in the future. I don't know. Hopefully one will come in the future, and in that way we'll be able to save some for ourselves. We can keep some at our location. We could keep like one of our ledgers on our location, and some of our silver and gold on our location, and another portion at this potential financial institution that could be trusted. I'm really hoping that that's the case, that somewhere along the line, if it does not yet exist, even one of us brothers and sisters in the body will create some kind of a very safe institution where you could just hold and protect valuable assets. We're going to need that, guys. Because as for today, we can't trust the banks. We can't trust them at all. You see? So that's my experience. That's what not to do whenever you start to stack your gold and your silver. And that time is coming up very soon. That time is going to be whenever you take profits from your crypto blessings, the bigger amounts of profits. And you're going to want to buy a monster box for each. You see, that's what you're going to want to do, because as a matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do. That's my plan. I intend to purchase at least, which means not less than this amount, at least one monster box each. So that's one monster box of silver coins. And you want to get the silver coins because lately you can't trust the gold bars and the silver bars, because they've been tampered with. So you want to get the coins. So you want to get at least one monster box of each, one monster box of the silver coins and one monster box of the gold coins. You see, the 1 ounce gold coins and the 1 ounce silver coins. You want to get at least a monster box of each. If you want, you can go ahead and purchase more than one monster box. You know, it's entirely up to you if you can afford to do so. You can go ahead and purchase more than one, but you guys might want to get at least one. I don't think that you'll ever need more than one monster box, considering where and how high they're going. Because there's also prophecies out there with gold going well over $10,000. You see, and silver over $1,000. So I don't think that you guys will need much more than that. And then comes in the safety precaution. You guys don't want to tell anyone, you don't want to give even the slightest idea to anyone that you own gold and silver. Because again, this knowledge could cost you guys your very lives, and even the lives of your family. It could put your lives and the lives of your family at risk, as you guys have seen with that guy that they'd kidnapped there in New York and tortured. And you guys don't want that for yourselves or your family members. So you guys want to consider taking precautions, consider what I've said, even the prophetic revelations and the price points, and you decide from there which steps you're going to take to and how you're going to procure and secure your precious metals when the time comes to do so. Now, that's all I want to share with you guys in this video. You guys take care. Shalom, peace. Until next time.